Okay, I'm back again, and I'm about to finish this little test of how far I can drive this Bolt EV on a single charge. And I'm pretty low right now. As you can see on the display here, it is flashing low, and it says propulsion power is reduced. This happened when I had 20 miles remaining on the indicator there. And now you notice there's no maximum, minimum, or even signal of how much mileage is left. There's about 15 miles left to my estimation. And what I have done is I've taken it to 300 miles using, well, most of the battery. Mostly all just driving and accessories. I haven't done anything with the, with the heat or anything to use up more energy. So there it is, driving accessories 100%, climate settings 0%. Temperatures were in the 60s and 70s. Approximately 100 miles of the 300 was on the freeway, mostly going about 60 miles an hour, but some of it was stop and go traffic on the freeway. The rest of it, city driving. And I have to admit, I was a little apprehensive running this battery down as low as I did, because my prior car was a Ford C-Max Energy, a plug-in hybrid, and I could always rely on that gasoline engine when my battery would run out, and I never even worried about it. I would just kick in the gasoline engine. But as I was driving around just now and realizing that, boy oh boy, if I run out, I don't have any, there's no reserves. So I wouldn't recommend running it, on fumes, electron fumes, if you don't need to. So I don't know whether or not this little display will stop flashing if I click the dismiss button. Let's see what happens. Nope, it just says the same thing. So it doesn't tell you how many miles are left, but it was 5 miles ago. It said 20 miles were left when the propulsion was suddenly reduced. As I was driving, all of a sudden the announcement, the display came on and said propulsion reduced, and you could really feel the car slow down. It will accelerate, but it doesn't have its pep anymore. It's just trying to conserve the energy as much as possible. So that's actually it was a pretty interesting experiment. I pulled into an EV Go station here now, so I can get a fast charge going. Fortunately, there's one just a mile from my house, so I'm just going to charge this puppy up, at least get some juice back into it, and I'll finish charging it tomorrow, and I'll report back on how the charging goes and how fast it charges up from where it is right now. So 58.6 kilowatt hours used, so about 1.5 left. There you go. Just know if you run out of electrons, I don't think AAA is going to bring you any like they would with a can of gas. Anyway, I will get back to you and let you know how the charging goes. Okay, I've been charging for about 15 minutes, and it's taken me from 15 miles to 62 miles on my charge. It's charging at about 42 kV kilovolt at that rate. So I think it will stay at that rate for this first half hour. And if I do the second half hour, we'll see if it drops. It tends to drop as the charge gets fuller, so let's see what happens. So anyway, right now, certainly feel a lot more comfortable if I had to drive somewhere. That's only 15 minutes charge. I'm hoping that it will be over 100 miles in the next 15 minutes, which I think it will. It'll probably be about 115. I'll check back in. It's a half hour of charging, and it delivered about 38% to the battery. Or about 35%. It was at 3%. So it's about 38% charged at this point. And I'm going to charge it for another 30 minutes. And it delivered 22 kilowatt hours in 30 minutes at about the rate of 44 kilowatt hours. So half an hour would be 22. And I'll see what it does for the second half hour and see if it slows down. Well, there you have it. 1 hour of charging brought the battery back to 70%. It's showing 225 miles of range at 70%. It went from 3% to 70% because I got over 300 miles on my last charge, so it assumes I'm going to do just as well this time, so it's going to show a higher minimum and maximum. So when I get this to 100% charge, it's probably going to show me at a range of 300, which is kind of interesting. But maybe I'll drive more aggressively and bring it down a little bit, because I drove rather conservatively before. So anyway, that's what you can kind of expect about getting your charge back using an EVgo charging station such as this. And otherwise, you'll plug it into a 220 or even a 110, and charging it on a 110 for 12 hours will give you about a quarter of your battery. So you can do that while you're sleeping. All right, that's all for now.